And the question is actually at $36,000, do you think that the move that we've seen in Bitcoin over the last, I don't know, what, 2 months now, how much of that is a function of sort of a pent-up demand or an anticipation that the SEC, because folks like BlackRock and Fidelity and you and others have made these applications, have the sense that it's more likely to happen now than it was a year or two ago?
I think what has happened, the change, is that the SEC actually asked us questions. I think asked us questions, asked BlackRock, probably has asked a lot. Whereas before, our filings were just rejected out of hand.
Okay.
So that is movement. That is significant. And, you know, over the years, I've gotten to know the research people at the SEC, and I'm very impressed. And I was impressed by the questions they asked us, too. So
what were the kinds of questions they asked?
A lot of them were very technical. They're all about protecting the consumer. And, you know, of course, the showstopper, at least from Gary Gensler's point of view, is he thinks Bitcoin can be manipulated. And, you know, this is a decentralized, transparent network. You can follow all the activity online. It's highly unlikely.
Well, it had to be that because he understands, Cathie. He's got enough. Not many people do. A lot of people don't have enough knowledge about how it works to make an informed decision about Bitcoin. He taught at MIT so he understands that it's not a Ponzi scheme or a Beanie Baby.
How much do you account for the move in Bitcoin as speculation on an ETF being approved? And is it a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of situation, or is it just a straight shot if, in fact, that were to come to be pass?
I am sure there is some anticipation, and there could even be a sell on the news. But the fundamentals, we put out a Bitcoin monthly piece every month, and you can see the health of the network using our on-chain metrics. The health of the network is almost as good as it gets, and it seems like this is a bull market. Sure, we'll have puts and takes. Nothing goes straight up. But I think this flight to quality, Larry Fink used that expression. We call it flight to safety. You look at what happened during the regional bank crisis. Bitcoin went from 19,000 to nearly 30,000 as the KRE, the regional bank stock index, was imploding. If you look at the bank stock index today, it is back down close to where it was in March.
You just mentioned a number of companies, all of whom have had stocks that have been challenged, including Robinhood. How do you think about those companies right now?
Well, we do think that each of them has a very good opportunity in the digital wallet space. Basically, if you think about WeChat Pay, that kind of digital wallet where all financial services take place, there's peer-to-peer interaction, there's commerce over it. We believe that you know, the rails in the United States have been good enough, but WeChat Pay showed the way, and I think we have.
But is that a one-player winner? Meaning, you know, and by the way, Elon Musk would like to be that winner with X if he could be. Absolutely, and you know, I think he's got big plans. Absolutely, he started in the fintech space, and of course sold out to PayPal. So, yeah.
I mean, is there an application for blockchain that involves something that Bitcoin does not lead the world with? Is there something else that you put in here?
Sure. The reason we have focused as much on Ether, Ethereum as we have is we think, you know, that is the smart contract network. That is the decentralized finance network.
So Bitcoin and Ether, anything beyond that?
Well, you know, there are infrastructure players. Solana is doing a really good job. I mean, if you look at Ether was faster and cheaper than Bitcoin in the day. That's how we got Ether. Solana is even faster and cost-effective than Ether. So, you know, there are infrastructure plays. We do believe Web3, digital assets. That's a big idea, actually. Digital assets with property rights. First time ever online that we're seeing property rights. Do you think
that some bears with Bitcoin have said, okay, there will be a Bitcoin 2.0 that someone comes up with? I don't know whether there's something more perfect.
There were so many.
Is there anything more perfect? Can there be something more perfect than Bitcoin?
I think most people understand that Bitcoin is the money revolution. This is the first global.
A lot of people don't understand that because they haven't read anything about it.
Right, private, so no government oversight, digital, very important, rules-based monetary system in history. And Art Laffer, my professor, mentor, and friend, when we did our first paper on and took our first position in Bitcoin in 2015, when he understood what this was, he said, I've been waiting for this since they closed the gold window in 1971.